they are deprecating links in Google searches, that they are going to move more towards just overviews than to give search results in the form of links.
How would one navigate the web then?
Exactly. One doesn't. Google is effectively saying, no, no, you just come to us. It is
Hmm.
like Google is going to Google for you. It is like, let us tell you what the answer is, rather than let us show you the website that has the answer. So you effectively, this does mean you don't go to the website anymore. Now that they've scraped the whole world's data. It's hype cycles time. I don't know why I'm so enthu. It is a Sunday afternoon. We are chilling. Hi Nitesh, is there a good reason to be enthu?
I For a moment I thought I entered the wrong Zoom call. What's up with enthusiasm and all? We don't
I'm
do
like
that.
one of those managers who's like, Monday morning, baby, let's go, let's get cracking. No, I don't do that.
It's a decent RJ voice. If that's a career you haven't done yet, maybe, or have you?
Well, I think I mentioned this before. I was running a pirate radio channel on campus, but there was no RJing involved. I was just playing MP3 playlists, making
Nice.
my own on the
Nice.
local LAN.
So back then you were foisting your opinion in music on people. Now you're foisting your opinion in general on
I
people.
once got a हमारा local IP LAN, IP what? IP net, whatever, the local chatting software that we'd
Uh-huh.
installed. I once got a ping at like some 3 a.m. which woke me up because computer was always on.
Right.
He's like, ये क्या आशा भोसले आरईएम का गाना लगा रखा है कुछ प्रॉपर लगा. I'm like, भाई, I get like 2 hours of sleep a day. Let me sleep. Playlist लगा हुआ है. You will enjoy it. So yeah, but at least people were listening.
Nice. Since you're cheerful for God knows what reason, I would like to do a mini rant before we do the story of the day.
Go for it. Go for it.
I shared the screenshot with you of the mail that I'm guessing most of us got, that Amazon Music is moving to an ad model for the base tier, and if you don't want ads, then you can move up. Spotify, basically.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people who are using Amazon Music and who do get annoyed at house parties when Spotify plays ads. Okay, don't you have Amazon? It's something I've actually heard from people. I know we've spoken about the online shopping part of Amazon and how that's gotten completely gentrified for sellers and buyers and bystanders and delivery personnel and everybody, right? But the consumer internet part of Amazon is well on its way to getting gentrified. I just thought I'll mention that in passing of where another one bites the dust. Amazon Music is terrible unless you're willing to pony up, move to a higher tier, and
क्या है? What is the subscription price?
Prime annual. Uh,
Music, unlimited music. Prime. See, Prime. To it was free on Prime. Now I'm guessing there is a separate Amazon Music tier, right?
yeah, so yeah, exactly. So you still have, I'm fuzzy on the details. You still have like uh, some access if you have your base Prime subscription, which I guess everybody has, and then you can load up if you want a complete ad free experience. Is what I'm guessing the mail said.
See, if I want ads, I will. There is Spotify. There is YouTube Music.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. So I was, not surprised, but I was like, okay, fine, no, whatever. There are so many choices in music, so what difference does it make? People just move on or pay up. That's what these guys want, anyways. Yesterday, day before yesterday, we're recording this on Sunday, 7th of June. On 5th, a new series dropped on Prime Video called The Pyramid Scheme. Now, this is at the intersection of con artistry and financial gullibility and just inherently a pyramid scheme is designed to lure people in with greed and it preys on some of our worst instincts as a species. So I was super hyped up for that. The trailer is really well cut. It's got a great cast, and I started watching. The series itself is good. It's a TVF production, so it has certain hygiene factors of the casting is great, the dialogues are great, the just the art, the production values are super. Which I don't think we give TVF enough credit for. But anyway, that aside, this is me binge watching something on Prime Video after a pretty long time, and the ads are incessant and they're insufferable. And I'm paying for Prime, right? The base Prime, which is what,
Hmm.
1,700, 1,800 a year, something like that. I'm paying
Yeah.
for that, and I know. And the way Cory Doctorow actually phrased this blew my mind. That Amazon basically got people to prepay for a year of shipping. That's what Prime is, and all of this is, just the masala on top. But I've gotten quite used to the masala. This watching a video and having ads every 10 minutes was every 12 minutes was like watching cable, back when. So again, even up to here, I just thought, okay, fine, this is shit. I'm not going to stay here long. Prime Video is not a particularly good platform, and they've gradually been losing content, anyways, to the Geo Hotstars of the world. Constantly, I'm getting ads for Meta Ray-Ban. Still, till here, my sense of humor was intact. Like, okay, this is funny. Now, for context, I watched this on a Fire Stick on my TV. All right. What horrified me was that while watching the ad, there's a prompt, and you can add to your Amazon cart right there while watching the ad. Just click a button, and on your phone, on an app, the product is going to be in the cart. All right. Now, I have read about this. This is not new. China famously, TikTok famously has been doing this for a good 3, 4 years now, where you're watching a reel or a short and you see a product and you get a nudge there that if you like this, and you can just. So that's, I think the creator is empowered to do that. They can actually earn affiliate commissions or whatever. But
Hmm.
just in this, it's so seamless, beneath that, like, okay, we're relatively cynical, hardened. I'm sure we have soft spots as well, but overall, a more cynical, a more hardened generation, especially for targeted advertising, web ads, all that. My parents or my kids stand no chance against that. There is, it's so seamless. There is no friction between seeing the product, the want being created in my mind, and I order it, and it's on Amazon now, and I get it in 10 minutes. That entire journey of seeing a product in action and it being in my hand theoretically could happen in 15 minutes now. And that scared the bejesus out of me. I'm genuinely worried for our previous generation and our next one. That's horrifying.
I have many thoughts.
Go ahead.
I have enough thoughts to completely take over this episode. Uh,
Go
so,
ahead.
a software brain is eating the world, right? These tech companies, the exact same phrase that you used in a presentation on Amazon or their infamous press release model of how they work would have been zero friction, straight from the ad on your screen to your cart and home in 10 minutes. Meanwhile, you and a lot of people seeing this who are responsible for the family wallet would be like, shit, zero friction, straight from screen to cart and home in 10 minutes. Holy fuck, lock this shit down.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. That's me also. You want friction. And the thing is, they need to enshittify, they need to cash in, right? In whatever way possible.
Hmm.
This is the ultimate way to cash in, remove all friction from shopping. Everything on the internet, any new technology will invariably tend towards shopping or gambling or fraud. This is shopping, but this will also lead to fraud.
Explain.
People will game this. You think there's no fraud happening on Instagram ads? There is so much fraud happening on Instagram ads. Companies selling shit products disguised as good products, right? Remove the friction, they'll buy. People are buying so much stuff off of Amazon, off of Instagram ads.
Yeah.
And there are some big brands, but there are some very terrible experiences also. You can buy so much, like, don't you like buying, there are brand USB cables on Amazon now?
Not particularly. No.
Like it'll literally be the name will be like QBZUEXZRY USB-C to USB-C cable, 149 rupees. Delivery by tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This second is, yeah, that's all they know. That's all these companies know. There is no innovation left. Now, if you browse reels on Instagram, I have noticed this. I'm sure it's happening to everyone else also. Swipe, I see a reel, swipe up. I see a reel, swipe up. I see an ad. I have to press twice or thrice to swipe up. There is a delay there now. I have noticed this multiple times. And sometimes that pressing twice or thrice will make me click. And suddenly I have cost that company money, even if I have no intention of buying.
Right.
But
And the
hey,
ad
meta
is
made money.
probably going to keep targeting you for at least a few days, right? Because it registered a what did Virat Kohli's team call it? An accidental engagement, something like that. That's what it was called, right? So it registered that, and
Exactly.
yeah, the company lost money. You're screwed for the next few days. That's all you're going to see until you either give in and say, "Fine, fuck it, give me the product," or that brand runs out of the budget that it had for you beneath.
Third is I had exactly the same reaction as you because I finally watched We Are the Millers yesterday.
Oh,
It
awesome!
is it is on Amazon Prime.
I didn't know that.
It had ads. I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. What were you watching on? Like, was it on a desktop or a TV? Or both?
TV. TV which has a Sony का पुराना वाला 2 GB terrible interface built in. But
Okay.
yeah, उस
So
पे Amazon
Android, Android.
Android TV.
Okay, all right.
The
So
Amazon
same,
Prime app on that.
same. You could click through. Like, could you buy, or did it generate a QR code that you could scan to add it to your cart directly, or something like that? Because it's
Next
still
week.
linked to your Prime account, right?
It is on my Prime account. It's connected to my Prime account.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I was just furiously clicking on the remote on the skip ad, and there is no skip ad. You can't skip ad.
Nope, you can't.
So yeah, I'll just let go of the rest of my thoughts on this topic. Otherwise, it'll be one long incoherent rant. But yeah, my basic decision was Amazon Prime. So, मेरे लिए case closed.
Yeah.
I am the purveyor of family subscriptions. Right. I subscribe because Amazon Prime now, even for shopping, who cares? There is now 10-minute shopping available, which also has a much lower environmental footprint. Right. There is an ethical issue, whatever 10-minute delivery thing, where the companies get a lot of flack, right, for paying these guys what, like 20 rupees and putting the pressure on you to tip these folks. Why? Why should I have to tip them? But I don't know how Amazon treats delivery workers, right? But also, I might order a muesli box on Amazon and find out that it is coming from Kochi to Delhi.
Yeah.
Versus at least here, I know it is coming from half a kilometer away. Yeah, why am I paying 1700 rupees again? So, therefore, anything that has ads is gone. I am just not going to go back. I am not going to renew.
But what what is a sustainable business model then?
I don't think Amazon is in want of a sustainable business model. Have you seen his super yachts?
Don't make that argument. But
I am making that
really
argument.
asking,
The
if
company is very profitable.
if you and I start an e-commerce company tomorrow,
Hmm.
what does a sustainable e-commerce company look like?
So
That is,
technically, okay, that's a good one. That's an interesting one. A sustainable business model. So retail margins are typically quite high, right?
mhm.
In the tune of, you would know better, but I'm guessing 20 to 30%. If I ask Modern Bazaar, the Modern Bazaar charges like the fancy supermarket chain in Delhi.
Mhm.
They charge listing fees, massive ones, right? If you want to put a product on their in their store, they'll charge you
That's
like 5 to 10 lakhs per store.
standard practices.
And some anywhere from 30 to 50%, right?
Yeah,
Retail fees.
yeah.
A sustainable business model would be you are setting up warehouses or you're selling stuff online. Your
Hmm.
margins can at least match those. 30% margin should cover for cost of, ideally, right? It should cover for the cost of delivery and the cost of running the company. That should in itself, in theory, be a sustainable business model. No? Where do ads come in? And also, see, the thing is, this is a
Ads
very
are,
hard question to. Sorry, just one point. This
yeah.
is a very hard question to answer because Amazon is literally the only company in the world where we are having this discussion. Ki what is a sustainable e-commerce model
Hmm.
in a conversation about ads during a TV series?
Yeah, sure. No, so you can flip that. What is a sustainable business model for everybody except Netflix in streaming? Nobody else has managed to make money there except Netflix, and I'm sure Netflix, at least in the US, has started ads, and will do pretty soon around the world because it's right there, right?
Hmm.
Why would they let that go?
It is, yeah, sure. Netflix is very expensive.
Yeah. So are we then to extend that analogy? Do you think I won't speak for other markets, but at least India, do you
Hmm.
think we are ready to let go of discounting? As you know,
Discounting again. Now we're back to the retail side of things
yeah,
of the discussion.
to use the
Amazon is
same
very fuzzy that
example,
way. It's just
for the
everything
moment,
mixed up. Hmm.
yeah, for the moment, Netflix does not have ads but still makes money because they charge a lot in subscription fees.
Hmm.
In the same way, would a sustainable Nitesh and Vinith's the NDTV e-commerce platform does it not affiliated to New Delhi Television? Just it's a bad running joke for
Yes.
anyone who's just joining us.
Yeah,
Uh,
it stands for Nitesh discusses tech with Vineet. It's a
yeah,
good name. I don't know why Nitesh has an issue with it. It's a good name. NDTV, it's not
even in
taken.
an
It's not
offhand
taken.
joke, we spend more time on the disclaimer than the joke. That's why it's a bad name. But anyway, if we were to set up this hypothetical company that pays workers equitably, that has a minimal carbon footprint, the only way that can happen is if we have full margins. If we sell products at MRP, कौन खरीदेगा?
No, but one topic at a time. So let us first, okay, let's discuss retail.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge enough topic in itself because there are different players, right? There are the actual traditional retail players.
Right.
There are the quick commerce guys,
Mm-hmm.
and there are the traditional e-commerce guys. Quick commerce and traditional e-commerce, at least everyone is playing for that 30% game, right? Or let's say 20 to 50% retail
Wait,
market.
pause just 1 second. You just summarized like at least a 2,000 word Bloomberg article. When you put Amazon in the traditional category, there's a piece this week
Huh.
about why Amazon India is struggling, and what changes have happened because of quick commerce, and Amazon missed the quick commerce boat completely,
Hmm.
right? Just like Big Bazaar did, just like DMart did. Everybody underestimated quick commerce. It was like the punchline to a joke कि 10 मिनट में किसको चाहिए आईफोन किसको चाहिए 10 मिनट में, right? The article goes on to say that for the longest time, Amazon India decisions were made here on the ground by the leadership team here, and that's no longer the case. Amazon India is run from Seattle, and historically, I can't think of a single company that has done that and thrived in India because it's so unique, the Indian market. I know that's a cliche, but genuinely, I don't think you can run something like a retailer while not being here, while the top leadership who are actually making the decisions not being here. So that's the crux of Amazon's problem, that they have somehow moved into the traditional category because they've been out innovated by quick
Hmm.
commerce. So yeah, back to your point of traditional e-commerce. I love that phrase so much. Go on.
Yes, I don't particularly care about 10-minute delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Even again, this is all just me. I am not speaking for the market. Even for veggies and groceries and stuff, half an hour mein aa jaye, no issues. I would prefer that, right? Kyunki it means less struggle for these guys, for the delivery guys, right? But it also breaks the business model. Blinkit's business model only works when, and even for the delivery guys, when they are doing like 50 deliveries a day or 40 deliveries a day, right? If you spread that out and relax it, then the business model breaks.
Yeah.
So that is one. But from an Amazon perspective, for me, it is important that the environmental footprint. If I'm ordering mostly here 10 minutes or half an hour or whatever, versus it could just it could be coming from Kochi and arrive in 5 days,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, why would I bother with Amazon? Second is the whole Amazon Prime. What is the use case now? Because Amazon is struggling to keep up with these quick commerce guys. So
Right.
I am sure if my Amazon Prime account ends, it will still give me free delivery, or maybe it'll take a day longer for whatever I am ordering. एक दिन बाद आ जाएगा, sure. Third is for stuff like USB cables and stuff. I want brands, even the Indian brands, Ambrain, right, Potronics. I don't want 1000 garbled names where all the reviews are written by ChatGPT.
Before this entire Sunday afternoon turns into old man yells at cloud, I think we should move to the topic.
We
But
should
before
move to the
we do,
topic, yes.
the moment when it, like my aha moment with quick commerce of, okay, I don't get it, but god damn this, there is a use case and there is a business model here. Um, now of course it's regularly mentioned in earnings calls of all the FMCG companies and all that. This is a solid revenue driver and a growth driver for most consumer brands. But the aha moment for me was that you could order printouts. Like you just send the PDF file or the
Yeah.
JPEG, and somebody will turn up at your door with a printout in 10 minutes. That was okay. Yeah, I get it. This makes sense. Like, uh, I'm sure the younger cohort than us has 100 other ways that they've actually gotten used to the convenience of 10-minute delivery and incorporated it into their everyday lives. Good for them. I'm not judging. That it still does not. I it's not something that my mind intuitively goes to. That if I don't have this, I can get it in 10 minutes. I'm not used to that level of gratification yet. But that
Hmm.
particular use case made me really happy. I think we should just move to the
Thank you for shutting down my rant. I appreciate it. So my story is basically Google doing two things.
Mhm.
One is like we discussed last week, and both are announcements from Google I/O, that they are deprecating links in Google searches, that they are going to move more towards just overviews than to give search results in the form of links. There's not too much information yet, but they've trialed it.
How
So
would one navigate the web then?
exactly, one doesn't. We have already, so like early internet was people writing blogs, right?
Yeah,
People building their own websites, companies building their own websites, and people sharing those links everywhere. Then everything just coalesced around Google,
right,
and in parallel, social media websites. So effectively, there was a Google related web and a social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok web. TikTok also during the video revolution. And none of these social media sites were very Google friendly.
yeah,
It is very hard to search for. Well, I can't even find, like, let's say I see a reel, I've seen a reel yesterday, I can't find it now, how that I want to show it to someone it's relevant. How do I hunt for it on Instagram, right? But now Google is effectively saying, no, no, you just come to us. It is
hmm,
like Google is going to Google for you. It is like, let us tell you what the answer is, rather than let us show you the website that has the answer. So you effectively, this does mean you don't go to the website anymore now that they've scraped the whole world's data. And the scummy thing they've done absolutely over the last few years is, so there is this file called robots.txt which tells Google that you are okay with your website being scraped
right,
for Google results.
uh-huh,
They've linked it that if you are okay with your website being scraped for Google results, then you are effectively okay with us capturing all your data and using it for our AI,
right,
right? Which is a contract most of the internet would not be comfortable with, but such it is. You don't have a choice anymore. You can't be off Google, right? You have to be on Google. And now they're effectively, this is the logical next step. Now that we've got all your data, now we will just give that data out in the form of an AI overview, and we will decide. So they've also, what they've done is, there is a mode for preferred sources. Our preferred sources feature makes it easy to see more from your favorite websites, and it is coming to AI overviews and AI mode. So you'll be able to easily spot links in AI responses from the sources you've already selected. Just visit source preferences in search personalization settings to find and add your favorite sources. A, who the hell is doing that?
It's
Can you imagine for Google search?
the equivalent of whitelisting, right?
It is, but
Sort of. Yeah.
who's doing that?
Yeah.
How many people do you think will actually go to
Nobody.
their search settings and okay, these are the 10 websites I visit most? Right. So that means two things. A, partly they will probably cull some from your search history.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously know, especially if you're using Chrome, and most of the internet is running on a version of Chrome.
Boom. Yeah.
Right. I would say about 95% plus. Firefox is the only alternative. Even Microsoft Edge is running on Chrome, or Chromium rather.
Yeah.
Right. So they know your favorite sites. So one, they will pull data from there. Second is this gives them an opportunity to just decide what they choose to call preferred sources for you. Because nobody is going to go into their search preferences and add these are 15 websites that I want to see results from. Also, even if that is the case, what will those 15 websites be? They might be for news. Even if you decide, yes, give me results from, like my case, Wired, The Verge,
Mm-hmm.
right? 3, 4, 5 websites, Etcetron's newsletter, let's say, right? Uh, but that means I don't discover anything new on the internet.
I was just going to say, so how does the 16th website get on your list in this world? It doesn't, right?
It doesn't. So
You
preferred
probably don't
sources.
even know that some information that is being fed to you or something that appeals to you is coming from a particular website unless you dig deep into the sources and the footnotes, find out, okay, where did this come from? And even then, you probably couldn't separate that this exact line, the way it is written, or the point that they are making came from a particular source. It might be an amalgam, which the LLM pulls out.
Also,
Discoverability is
what is my intent? Let's say okay, let's take two categories of people putting out content on the internet. One is people who do it for the joy of it, or individuals who do it for the joy of it or go deep into their hobby, and let's say they want to make some money by putting up ads or whatever, right? Or
right.
three categories rather. One is that the individuals who want to make some side money.
Hmm.
Two, the aggregator, the news websites who are either putting out their own content or aggregating.
Right.
They absolutely want to live on ad money, even if it's by running Google display ads on their own website. And the third is SEO content, right? Companies writing blog posts to get people to come to their website and realize that, okay, this is a useful source and they are actually answering my question. Let me sign up for their whatever, for their service or buy this book from ebook that they have written or something like that.
Right.
Each of these categories wants people visiting their site. That's why they're writing.
Yeah.
None of these categories is happily writing so that Google can scrape that data and just give it as a result on google.com and people don't end up visiting here. So why would they keep writing? There is no business model anymore. And partly there is, yeah, I'll put a link to this. The rise of zero click search. Right. Search behavior is shifting. Visibility is up because people are searching. Clicks are down. And AI answers are taking. So AI answer consumption from, well, is up obviously 500% in a few years because it didn't exist earlier. Right. So there's a massive increase. Search impressions are up, but CTR is down. Click through rate is down 37% in the last few years, and 37% is a big dip. Also, a bunch of surveys by Pure Research and and Carnegie Mellon, whatever Ahrefs also, which is a huge SEO uh, SEO consulting slash search tool site.
Right.
Right, 47% drop in click through rate in the last couple of years. The other one says 38% fewer outbound clicks. 93% of searches are now zero click, and organic links just not
But
being clicked on.
how?
Also, because even under, sorry, this is the last point, even
Yeah.
under current circumstances, Google is a mess. It is AI overview, bunch of ads. You don't know what is organic anymore in there, and then more ads, and then a couple of organic links, and then more ads. So, yeah.
How much of this is AI and Google sucking, and how much of it is just the actual business model having shifted to social media and influencers and you know discoverability happening there as
No,
opposed.
AdWords is a huge money spinner for Google. It is their business. It is pretty much the only thing making them money.
Right.
So people are still absolutely on Google search and searching for stuff and clicking on the paid links.
No, I know the brands are there because we're spending, but the consumers aren't there, right? That's why the click-through rate has dropped. I mean, that's what it means when you say the click-through rate has dropped, that the consumers are not there.
No, searches are still there, impressions are there. People are just not clicking. So people are still there on Google, they're just not clicking.
Right.
Because Google is making an organic click much harder to do.
Hmm.
They are now prioritizing AI overviews over the last few years. They've been prioritizing the paid results. So the organic clicks aren't happening.
So what's the end game? Without incentives, nobody's going to be creating new content.
I don't, yes, exactly. That is one.
Huh.
Why would people create content on the internet?
Yeah.
Second is, what does this even mean for Google Ads? Because if I'm doing a proper search for a product, if I'm doing an e-commerce search through AI, I will
Hmm.
still click through. Right. Okay. Find me the best wireless microphone in the market that meets these 3, 5, 10 requirements. Let's
Right.
say fantastic AI search results. It gives me three options. It asks me some context, or it figures out context by reading my brain, whatever it is, and I click and I buy that thing.
Hmm.
In that case, win for Google. Actually, no, maybe not, because they might make they're not making referral money just yet. That's a new business model altogether.
Don't they on Google Shopping? They do, right?
Google Shopping, do they make affiliate money? I'm not sure.
I think
If
they
they
do.
do, it's still a tiny thing. Google
Yeah.
Ads is still the big money spinner. This does not account for Google Ads.
Hmm.
Right. So if I do an e-commerce type search and they give me a result, if it gives me paid results on top, sure, but then they've bastardized AI overviews already.
Yeah.
Right. But at least there's a win for the e-commerce website. But any other kind of search
For now.
for now,
Yeah.
any other kind of search, if I just get the information I want on the AI overview, then I'm not even clicking on a Google ad. That is Google's, that is the machine that runs Google's business. What happens to that?
No, they're still going to feed ads into the AI overview. Obviously, right? That's the next step.
Yeah.
Really. Like if my kid, uh, the little one, looks up what is a rainbow, what causes a rainbow, and the AI overview basically summarizes the first paragraph of Wikipedia in a way a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old would understand, and throw in a line about how rainbows are best seen through uh, Ray-Ban's new glasses for kids.
Fair.
He's not going to be able to tell if that's an ad or that really just is the way we work. You need a specific brand of glasses to see rainbows clearly. He doesn't know any
Yeah.
better. That's what's going to happen, right?
That is, yeah, one
Where
likely
else
outcome.
where else would it go?
They can't afford
I'm saying
to
that
act,
I'm saying it's inevitable because that's the worst thing I can think of.
but it is also the only thing that seems likely, because they can't give up their money printing engine,
Yeah,
which is Google Ads.
yeah. And all I can visualize is in Google headquarters. I'm not going to call it Alphabet. In Google headquarters, people have that evil maniacal laugh when they explain this to a Ray-Ban exec or whatever. That imagine if a child forever associates rainbows with your brand. Can you put a price on that? We can.
Exactly the same. This is software brain, right? Or Silicon Valley brain, where that guy, imagine. if a kid permanently associates rainbows with Ray-Ban Meta glasses, and you here as a parent like, holy fuck. So Silicon Valley brain or enshittified brain. Everything needs to be an ad.
No,
So
it's not even
yeah,
that. Not even everything needs to be an ad. It's okay. We found a new way of doing things, doing something, and now what's the worst possible version of this? What is the one way we can execute this, which will leave everybody worse off, everybody poorer, uh, not in monetary terms, but just like overall, in terms of lived experience. How can we make this bad for everybody involved? And that's the way the water flows, it finds its way. That's
literally just today morning saw a comic on Twitter, single panel, where this Elon Musk type is on stage at some conference and going, "What if I introduced this product that made your lives infinitely worse but made me a ton of money?"
that's most keynotes summarized.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I feel like we we don't know how good we had it with early internet,
Yeah,
until
man.
it was gone. That was like Wild West. Um, I think it was on one of our Instagram reels or YouTube shorts. Or I don't know. There was a comment about this is the paradigm, and now you adapt to it, and you do things this way. This is how you think about this. You create. The solution to this is that you create AI friendly content, and then the AI will parse your website and get you reach eventually. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what the
Hmm.
comment said. And I couldn't help but think, but dude, you don't know how good we had it before all
Yeah.
this happened. You
No,
did
but
not
also there is a flaw there. It won't get us reach. Reach means people coming to my website, not just seeing the information I have to write, that I have to share with the world on Google's result page.
Yeah. No, the
Reach
idea
for
is
me
that
is people come to my site.
whether it's a person or a product or a service, the idea is that you make the brand so strong that it seeps through AI and still finds AI overview or whatever. A bot scraping the internet for 10 different brands of headphones, and you make your product and your brand so strong that there is actual stickiness even through the filter of an LLM, that the end consumer still remembers your brand for what it is, which is realistically, as somebody who has been running a brand for
Hmm.
nearly a decade now, that's not going to happen. All right.
Even if it does happen, again, it only applies in the e-commerce case when you're buying shit.
Yeah,
It
no,
does not apply in the information case.
that's what the general direction of uh, flow seems to be. That's why more and more people are doing personal branding, right? It's
Yeah.
to get through all these filters and still somehow retain mind space in the minds of whoever it is you're talking to.
No, I would disagree slightly on that point. The personal branding is not to get through these filters.
Hmm.
It is to completely evade these filters and skip Google altogether. कि Google से नहीं आएगा.
Right.
I am building my personal brand on Twitter. God, I hate that phrase, personal brand. But personal brand on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever, so that you
Hmm.
come directly to my website. Or that is my personal brand on that social media network. And whatever I'm selling is through that itself. Right. So it is just to completely get rid of reliance on Google. Because if the only thing you're getting is an AI overview,
वो तो कोई भी दे देगा.
कोई भी दे देगा and मेरा डेटा चोरी करके मैंने जो लिखा है वो चोरी करके दे देगा.
Yeah.
मुझे क्या मिल रहा है वापस? तो मैं क्यों लिखूंगा?
Right. Yeah.
They've
Great.
already identified the internet before this. This is just what gets us out of it all. No, but I do think that what killed, complete aside,
Hmm.
early internet good days died in 2007 when the iPhone was launched. When
When
the internet moved from the computer to the phone.
phone. Yeah. Incidentally, also around the rise of Facebook, right?
Yeah.
We had those twin sons of Tatooine fucking things up for us.
तब भी मतलब if कहाँ पढ़ा था मैंने somewhere कि the internet used to be this wonderful thing that you had to go to this one box in a study to access,
Yeah.
and you are going there for a purpose and you're
You,
learning something.
you went online.
Yes, you had to go through that everything, right, to access the internet. Now it is constantly in your hand and scroll, 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 scroll. That's when the internet died. That's when the good days of the internet died.
You know, the reel thing you mentioned, that even if you liked a reel that you watched yesterday, there's no way for you to find it now. That's that's deliberate, right? They want you to share right at that moment because you might never find the reel again. It's it's drawing on your worst impulses.
But well, maybe it is, but also it's also a very hard problem to solve technically. How would you? It's video, right?
Hmm.
So many reels are like, even if the tech is transcribing it at the back end, I saw a great reel. How do I know what to even search for? How does the system know to set these tags against a reel? So
Yeah,
maybe it's just a really, really hard problem to solve.
maybe. I don't know. I never thought about it that way. I just everything about short form video content creeps me out. I fully appreciate the irony that we are making short form video content, but in our defense, or at least in my defense, it wasn't our first choice. Nobody is going to watch a 1 hour video
Hmm.
until you have a funnel of shorts.
I hate making shorts.
Eek. Yeah,
Absolutely. Or as I now call it, and you hate, or whatever, you think it's misuse of a term, shorting hype cycles. So I hate it. I hate doing it. I hate what it stands for. But yeah, it's the only way to get people. My second story is also Google, and completely the opposite of not being able to find something that I saw yesterday, which
hmm,
is the launch of Google Spark, which is their all in one personal assistant system update.
okay. Same.
So,
I don't know anything about this. Say more.
ha, it's brand new.
Okay.
It's basically, so I read these stories on The Verge. They played around with it.
Mm-hmm.
It is, see, again, everything around AI is a chatbot, a box, a text box, right?
Right.
So we've discussed the whole thing about make a travel itinerary for me, which is the personal use case that these people keep pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Spark is a very advanced version of fulfilling that dream. And here's how it turned out. So one of the reporters there, David Pierce, he told it, I am going to this place for the weekend. Make me an itinerary. So it did that. And actually a useful one, very useful one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm now quoting, Spark also casually noted that my son Lewis will get into Hershey Park for free because he's not a year old yet. But that because Arthur is 3, he'll need a ticket. This is
Right.
not context he has given in that conversation. It is pulling out from emails.
Right.
I don't know if Spark was guessing what time Lewis snaps in the afternoon, or if it knew it somehow, but it was right to schedule nap time for 1:30 p.m. The whole itinerary was filled with details like this,
Mm-hmm.
included my wife's name, and took into consideration the fact that she doesn't like to eat onions. It included the concert I had tickets for on Saturday night, presumably based on a Ticketmaster confirmation in my email.
Which, okay, benign enough, right?
But this part is benign enough, right? When I got to the part where it mentioned getting a babysitter that night, it I remembered to note that my parents are coming along for that purpose, so I don't need a babysitter.
Mhm.
That's a wonderful update, Spark replied, happily calling my parents by their names. When I asked Spark to put all the information in a Google Doc and share it with Anna, it found my wife's email, attached document, drafted a note that sounded like we were business colleagues instead of a married couple, and sent it along. And he says, on one hand, this is one of the most astonishingly impressive AI experiences I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I can't shake the deeply creepy feeling I get from this whole thing. It just felt very invasive. It's weird that Spark is so casually telling me the names and ages of my children. reminding me that it knows where I live, and finding information I know for a fact I've never volunteered to Google. Thoughts before I proceed?
Yeah, tracks. Makes sense. I was wondering if continuing the same, the journalists. It was a journalist, right, who
Hmm.
described all this. Yeah. If there was also a section of emails about or around him having an affair, would the chatbot accommodate that as well? That I've scheduled these 4 times when you can comfortably sneak out and have a quick conversation, or any
It
of that.
would, because how would it know otherwise?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
there is no human providing that human level of nuance. And this is going to be so much fun.
don't bring it up here. वो कौन बताएगा?
And वो doc में डाल देगा. It's very much possible. It doesn't even tell you when it's discussing. It says, "Acha, put all this in a doc for my wife." वो doc में डाल देगा, page 3 पे line 2.
No, and I also prepared a summary of the itinerary for
Hmm.
your girlfriend. These are the safe times to call me.
Or you just say, "Please send the itinerary to my partner."
And it goes to the wrong one.
ये सब होगा. ये सब होगा.
Yeah.
That is one part. Second
Oh.
is a side I want to bring up before we actually come back to this, is the DoorDash slash Zomato problem.
Hmm.
कि Google then becomes the interface and पीछे Zomato or DoorDash becomes the utility. So part of this itinerary was trying to book an Airbnb. It failed
Hmm.
because Airbnb ने block कर रखा है tracker को.
Right.
वो करेगा. So that I just want to point out कि वो अभी भी नहीं होने वाला. कोई नहीं करने देगा.
For now, yeah, for now. But somebody, if not Airbnb, one of their clones, is going to get greedy enough and say, "This is it's revenue, it's free revenue. What do we have to
It's
lose?"
not. It's not free revenue. Everyone wants to own
It's
the
free
interface.
incremental revenue, right? If you are number three in
Hmm.
search in hotel search or whatever, what do you have to lose?
That will kill the system because if somebody wants a stay, somebody wants अच्छा पूरी family जा रही है. So again, this particular example switched from hotel to Airbnb when the guy said my parents are also coming. So
Right.
therefore, it then started saying, "Let me find you an Airbnb." Oops, I failed.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So
Right.
if there is a number 3 hotel stays, or in India, mein, let's say a Fab Hotels, let's say signs up,
Mm-hmm.
you will still the user will still try to say, "नहीं मुझे Airbnb दिखा,"
Right.
which is the obvious number 1, and that will fail. So therefore, the system breaks down. So that is still my long-term theory. कि these things will just never work.
देखते हैं. Let's see.
Hmm. But now, yeah, coming back, it tracks with yes. It is in a way, it is just putting uh, to a document or one interface what all Google does know about us, which we have been felt creeped out by. अच्छा नहीं वो सुन रहा है हमें, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now here it is, all clearly laid out in front of you in one document.
That's what I was saying. इसमें नया कुछ नहीं है. They've just finally
हाँ.
found a way to bring everything together. The data was
Hmm.
always there with Google.
Which a lot of people will really like. A lot of people will be massively creeped out by. But yeah, a lot of people will really like.
Okay, this makes sense. It's convenient. No, I
Will,
already
would you
tried.
use it?
Would
Would
I?
you?
If I could sandbox it, maybe.
कैसे
Maybe.
करोगे? You are also the one who was running OpenClaw on a Mac Mini separately in a sandboxed Mac Mini, right? You
Yeah.
are not the average, or a Raspberry Pi, in fact, Mac Mini भी नहीं. हाँ, you're not the average user.
Yeah.
The average user doesn't know what a sandbox is, except वो बच्चे जहाँ खेलते हैं, right? Okay, next thought, but related. Enterprise use cases, sure. Personal life में who sandboxes shit?
Yeah.
How do you even sandbox shit? I have a
Even
Google account. I have a Google account, right? In personal life,
even basic hygiene, we don't follow in our personal accounts.
can't. It life is messy enough.
Yeah.
Can't remember one password. Then they start saying passkey. Like,
Mm.
kahan, kya, what is going on? Nobody knows. So therefore, sandboxing is not going to happen. The other thing, the next thing is, how much would you pay for a use case like this? Let's say it was perfectly sandboxed.
Hmm.
If it's a monthly subscription.
For an assistant, I wouldn't pay. If it's free,
Exactly.
I might use it.
Exactly.
Pay
But
for
these
it.
are very expensive to run.
Yeah, I'm sure. So that's what they're going to find some other way to monetize it. Find a way to measure incremental revenue that Google Spark is bringing to Fab Hotels or whoever, and ask for a commission. और कहाँ से आएगा पैसा? वहीं से तो आएगा ना? I'm not going to pay
Hmm.
Google upfront. So they're going to find other ways of monetizing my habits, the way I interact with the world around. And the beauty of it, the premise here is that this is going to be the only way I look at the broader world. The only way I look online, the only way I interact with the physical world, whether it's car shopping or planning a holiday or looking up schools for my kid, whatever. That is really valuable information. That's a really valuable qualified lead, and Google is the best or among the best in the world at monetizing that. Of course, they're going to do it.
I somehow completely disagree. That Yeah, so this is again the wonderful phrase that I have picked up from listening to the Vergecast, the Verge's podcast. The people do not yearn for automation. Businesses yearn for automation and productivity increases.
Mm-hmm.
For people, even with Google's massive data machinery and what it knows about us,
Yeah.
you will need to add so much context. Even if it's free, it will just beyond the very, very low hanging, whatever, low effort, low reward searches,
Mm-hmm.
you won't end up using it.
I disagree. If it is as seamless as the reporter described it, I'm sure it would see adoption.
For maybe a use case a month or something.
Yeah, but then high value.
How often? Okay, so that's an interesting one. How often do you need this level of automation without adding further? Like, if picking a school for your kid, do you really think you'll trust Google with that? You'll use it as search. Give me 10 schools in my area, and that is it, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine, which you can find on Google Maps. Beyond that, what? It's not like Google is going to select, no, you have to send your kids here.
Yeah,
There are so many other factors. You'll go see it, you'll go talk, get a feel of it.
but they could condition me to pre-like a school. Number one. Number two, they could point me to a school that I would not have stumbled upon by myself, even by
Fair,
looking at Google Maps.
fair. Hmm.
They hold the keys, my man. They're not going to let them go.
Interesting one. I disagree on this one. Second is high value. Fair. Okay, fair. Yeah, that is that point. I think value is when there are many, many, many more points of context also, and Google just can't have that. That's my story.
I want to close with an interesting piece of news uh, on the quick commerce instant gratification theme that we've been learning today. I just remember this. I've not done any sort of prep, so it's just a headline. Ixigo, the travel portal, is has acquired a 55% stake in a company called Brevistay. Now, Vineet, have you heard of Brevistay?
I have, but I can't place it. I feel like I've heard it in some story about some startup.
I'm doing a crass oversimplification, but they rent rooms by the hour.
Ah,
That's
I feel like I've heard of it in a OYO context, but yeah, maybe as a competitor to the hourly stay thing.
Yeah. So Ixigo just acquired a majority stake in Brevistay for 66 crores,
How big is
roughly
Brevistay?
valuing the whole thing at 100 plus. Sorry?
How big is Brevistay? Like how many rooms? What inventory?
No idea. So again, they are marketing the same rooms that Booking.com is marketing, but for at an hourly rate or for 4 hour or 2 hour slabs.
10 minutes? Sometimes that's enough.
Why, man? Why?
We're
Sometimes,
on that.
sometimes it's better to leave the low hanging fruit alone. You don't always have to make the obvious joke.
Sorry, do you know who you're talking to? Cannot let sleeping dogs lie. But no, 4 hours to yaar. 4 hours.
There's an entire Imtiaz Ali sketch about this. Right? So that's my point. That's the reason I bring it up. I'm surprised that none of these guys, and there are a bunch of clones of Brevistay. To my knowledge, Brevistay is the largest. I could be wrong. I have done absolutely no research on this. But none of these guys have done an ad campaign with the actor from Jab We Met. Just recreate that scene and pitch the service. It's perfect. None of them have done that. They're always marketing that this is a great business case. If you're a business traveler and you got in early for your meeting into
Because they can't pitch anything else. Because all the uncles of the country will rise up.
no one gives a fuck, man.
Of course they give a fuck. Oh, this
We're
country is a this country is one WhatsApp uncle. Of course they give a fuck. Everyone knows what's happening, but they pitch it as a business use case. What business use case is a 1 hour hotel room stay?
okay. Do you think that Oyo, the tag of Oyo,
Hmm.
still carries stigma?
It still carries that association.
Okay, a certain connotation of
Huh.
that.
Huh. But
Okay.
there were a lot of protests, by the way.
Yeah,
And Make My Trip, by the way, lists
couple friendly hotels. Yeah.
couple friendly hotels and will not allow whatever, right? Exactly. Unmarried.
So it's one of the
So,
filters, which could only have happened in India. So with Brevistay, you or any of these websites, you know that they've already crossed those hurdles. And in the article, there's actually an article in depth in the Economic Times today about all these websites, and I'm guessing it was written before the acquisition happened because there's no mention of it. So incidentally, Economic Times did a proper, like they've
hmm.
done research, spoken to multiple portals, and tried to understand the business case of it's not just leads, but yeah, that is a big part of it. And from the hotel operator's point of view, you're turning around a room 6 times a day.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
It's great for you. Hopefully you're changing the bed sheets, but this is great. You should be doing this. You should be doing
But why
more.
does it matter in a business scenario? Why does it matter if they change the bed sheets?
Just hygiene, man.
There's just presentations going on in that room, right?
No. So the business pitch is that you took an early flight and you have landed in Mumbai at from Bangalore or Delhi. I picked Mumbai because it's midway
Hmm.
for both of us. You have landed at 7 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. But your meeting is at 10. So what are you going to do for those 2.5 hours? Normally you would go to a cafe, sit, kill time, and then get there in time for the meeting. They're saying we'll give you a bed, we'll give you a shower, come take a nap, get dressed here as opposed to at home, and you're not paying for the whole day, so it's cost effective. That is the business use case. And even as I explain it, I realize that it's a fig leaf.
By the way, even as you explained it, I'm like, huh, why haven't I actually tried that? Because I do take early morning flights to save time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that actually makes sense. No, but also I would now love to find out what are the usage,
So
what
solo bookings versus,
the peak times of day for these bookings.
yeah.
I would love to know that. I would assume.
Because the business example still works in your meeting wrapped up early, but you took a late evening flight in case the meeting ran on, and now you're done. And what you're going to go sit in the airport lounge for 4 hours? Why not just take a nap? No. What the data, now that you mentioned it, the data I would love to see is how many of Brevistay's bookings are solo bookings versus couple bookings versus the long tail, shall we say, of bookings. I'd like to see that.
I think they will all be solo bookings, right? Because why put both names? Both business associates names. Both. That's what I meant.
I'm guessing you would still have to specify because do you want a single bed or a, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is what happens when you just try to faff about headlines and make bad jokes.
But yeah, I think you should look into this as many parameters as possible about use cases and the actual use timings. People booked for 2 hours, but how long did they actually stay?
Oh God! And then do a product integration with I don't know.
Meta Ray-Ban, the pervert glasses,
I was gonna say Durex, but yeah, sure.
Cupid condoms. No, the pervert glasses, Meta Ray-Bans.
Right. So you
So
can write
the
something.
Apple glasses are actually apparently still moving forward.
I
We will
told you.
see.
I
We
told you.
have, I think, 10 months left to see what happens
Yeah.
before our bet
Yeah.
gets called in, before our poly market gets
I
called in.
think it's safe to say that they'll at least do better than the Vision Pros, right?
As in, will they perform better in the market, or will it be a more like a better thought through product?
Perform better in the market.
Can't do worse. It can't be $3,500, right? So
Yeah, true.
like the Meta Ray Bans are what, $500
Three
starting?
389.
Fair. So that's a almost 10x the price point, right? So it's completely different use case. Apple will probably be around the then 600 to 2000. Actually, it'll be more expensive. It'll be more premium, is what I think. Maybe 800 to $1,200.
No, I think they'll be around 500 mark.
Do they have any tie-ups, or is it just them?
It's gonna be just them.
No Johnny Ive.
So anyhow, is busy designing other stuff at the moment. So
It's almost a year since no, July is when we discussed the Johnny Ive IO thing with Sam Altman. Where is that?
cannot be called IO anymore.
It cannot be called IO anymore.
हाँ वो हो गया that was
Video ban gaya, where
हाँ
they're lovingly walking down the road and ho gaya.
that's all. Sam Altman got Steve Jobs aura rubbing off on him by association, and that's all he wanted. That was what that entire spectacle was about. वो हो गया.
Amazing that nobody ever calls out this shit.
We did.
But we
When
are nobodies.
watches us call out this shit.
So nobody's called out this shit. Yeah, fair. On that happy note, on that self-congratulatory note,
Yeah.
let us end.
For your homework assignment, dear viewers, go browse Brevistay and tell us what works for you and what doesn't.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Done. See you. Bye bye, everyone. See you, Nitesh.